Before we get into today's skate session, I wanted to talk about Norway, the only country to have actually ever banned skateboarding. Skateboarding was introduced to Norway in 1978, where they were able to sell skateboards to the citizens, and in that same year, they banned skateboarding. Apparently, in 1977, there was a report in the United States that 28 kids died from skateboarding while 100,000 were injured, which I don't believe at all, but this led to Norway being like, we don't want that. Skateboarding was on air internationally in 1965, but in the 1970s, it started to make a huge impact in Europe. American soldiers were also bringing over skateboards to Europe. Skateboarding was quickly becoming seen as a nuisance in Norway because as a skateboarder of 22 years, it can be pretty loud, somewhat disruptive, but it's just people having fun. Now, this is the part of the story that sucks, but it's also the part that makes me really love skateboarding. Since import and export of skateboards was illegal, on top of the act of skateboarding, they had to figure out a way to get skateboards, so they were manufacturing within the country in secret, or they were smuggling in skateboards, and they were building skate parks in the forest. Now, a massive reason why I love skateboarding, and maybe why I vibe with skateboarders so much, is that most people in this scenario, I'm talking 99% of the population, would see something like this and say, skateboarding is illegal, therefore it is bad, therefore we shouldn't do it. But if you really think about it, skateboarding is a piece of wood with wheels on it. If you think of a motorcycle or even a bicycle or scooter, they clearly have the potential for a lot more damage. Legality doesn't equal morality. You have a group of skateboarders who were trying to keep this alive despite the fact that so much of the country didn't like what they were doing. It's ironic because skateboarding at this time probably still had the vibe where it attracted rebels, so if you make it downright illegal, you're just going to make the thing more desirable to the people who desire it. Even today, people still try to control the act of skateboarding in a sense and think that a lot of aspects of it are dangerous, that everyone should wear a helmet, etc., etc. It's still trying to be controlled all the time. I will say props to the planet for Norway being the only country to have actually banned skateboarding, but Norway also has the law where if somebody challenges you to a fist fight to the death, you either have to accept or give up 4 deer. That's an actual law. In the 80s, a group of skateboarders started the Oslo Skateboard Society, and they actually met with the organization responsible for banning skateboarding, and luckily they allowed the law where skateboarders could do it if it was technically a club activity and if they were on a designated ramp. Just legalize it. So obviously a bunch of skateboarders just started clubs and they started building ramps, and I'm sure Norway was like, where are the 100,000 injured kids? So in 1989 they actually legalized it again, but that lasted for 11 years, an 11-year ban on skateboarding. And then apparently every kid in Norway just started skateboarding. I mean, you have this thing that's seen as rebellious and then it's legalized, so even parents are on board. So they inadvertently created this insane hunger in Norway for skateboarding. Norway now has a massive skate team. They even host one of the X Games, and they have an Olympic skate team. So talk about how far someone's come, and a true underdog story. It's interesting to see how laws, customs, and cultures can affect the skateboarding in different countries. And I think about myself as the stereotypical American who doesn't keep up much with anything outside of America. So even while I was coming up in skateboarding, and even now, there's so many stories and different scenes of skateboarding all over the world. It's interesting. But regardless of how skateboarding is or how the culture sees it or where its place is in the meta of time-space continuum, the most important aspect for me always is just getting on my board and going for a cruise. Unfortunately, it rained. I'm also exhausted before 12 o'clock, so now that we're back at the skate park, I actually made a list of 5 very difficult tricks, 4 I've never even done before, tricks that I want to do here today. Unfortunately, it did rain a little bit, but with the help of my trusty, busty towel, I've been able to help it dry a little bit, so we're gonna wait it out. We're gonna skate no matter what. Even if it rains again, I'm just gonna skate in the rain because I need to learn these tricks, and ain't nothing gonna stop me from trying to learn them. That was only an 8-minute time lapse, and the skate park is almost completely dry at this point except for some of the corners. But I'm gonna go ahead and just get started. The fakie flip switch front 50 is the first one. Now, all 5 of these are awkward skate tricks. So the first one's a fakie flip switch front 50, and if it was backside, it wouldn't be so hard because when the board flips, it wants to also go in the direction that it's flipping. So to get it to flip to the left while also going to the right is pretty hard, but let's just get into it. My ankle started hurting. Stupid. That's technically the only one I've actually done. The next 4 are gonna be hard, but fakie heel switch back 50. It's almost the complete reverse of this trick, and I've never done this one. Seems very hard, but I'm just gonna get straight into it. All right. Committing next try. Oh, what was that? Go too fast. Oh, it's so awkward. Oh, that was it. There we go. Ooh, feeling more control now. Oh my God, that was so close. Oh my God, okay, it feels way more comfortable now. Close. Ow, that's what I was afraid of. Oh my God, my truck barely missed. Dude, I'm like barely missing every single time. Dude, what the frickle? I live for this process. Learning new tricks is so unbelievably fun. That's 1. We have 3 left that I could learn. I'm already satisfied with just what we've done today, but I want to learn switch front 180 to a nose grind, which I've actually never done. I do these regular all the time, but the switch one, it's really hard for me to open my shoulders and turn and land like that. But with practicing switch 180 nose manuals, I feel like I just need to do that same thing and aim better. That's switch 180 50-50. Now I need to grind with just my front truck. Oh my God. That's gonna be the hard part, not missing the grind altogether and shooting that way. Oh, there we go. I aimed it correctly, but I didn't push hard enough on the nose. Oh my God, that was better. That's even more what I'm afraid of, not making it all the way up there. I quit on that one. I need to practice my switch 180 50s and switch blunt slides more. Right now it's just not working. The switch 180 nose grind, damn, I hate like when you know that you're not there yet for a certain trick. It's like a really bad feeling because it feels like there's like variations you want to do of that trick and you're like, oh, what if I could do this way or shove out or whatever? And then when you can't even get the trick, you're like, damn, it like puts your, I guess, ego back in check, but it really just shows you like, okay, let's go this way, and then we'll find our way back there. So right now, honestly, the next trick is just like an iteration of that one as well. It's a nollie back 180 switch 5-0. It's the exact same rotation and grind, but you're going the opposite direction. Anyways, I'm like, okay, well, since it's kind of like, I'm feeling down on that trick, I'm just gonna move it to a nollie back 180 just switch 50, which I've done before. Keep it a little minimal because I need to use the inspiration from that to boost the next 2 tricks, which are gonna be really hard, which is a fakie 180 nose grind and a nollie 180 nose grind. I feel like I'm speaking gibberish to a lot of people until I show you what I'm talking about, but let's just worry about the nollie back 180 switch 50 right now. I needed to do something that's gonna boost up my confidence, and I do need to practice that one, so that actually felt really
cool doing it. I need to do like 20 one day, just do them over and over. Okay, now I just have to do that, but nose grind instead of 50-50. Whoa, that felt pretty good. This one's a lot easier to aim than the Swish 181. But we got this, we're doing this. That was so close. No, dude, that felt so good. I grinded and then I went into a nose manual, so that does not count, even though it felt cool. I think that first one awakened something. That was right after. At least we've done 2 new tricks. We did 2 tricks I'm proud of. There's one trick that would really put the icing on the cake, which is the same exact trick I just did, except nollie. So it's a little harder because nollie, for me, is a bit more difficult than fakie. But let's just start committing, because this one's gonna be a journey. I mean, that was first try. I think that's a good sign. All right, I kind of got into it, but it definitely felt harder. That is hard. Oh my God, that was actually it. Dude, this feels, it's starting to feel good. So that last one I did was totally not even on my radar. I just did the nollie 180 nose grind, and instinctively, without even saying anything to the camera, I was like, I have to try the other one. And it only took like 6 tries, and I see a lot of very, very talented skateboarders like Tiago Lema, some of the best skateboarders doing that trick. So that's why I've kind of been like, well, it's gotta be really hard if they're the ones doing it. And then trying it, I'm like, oh wait, it's actually easier to 180 out weirdly than it is to do the other one. So I'm so pumped because that's technically 2 tricks just then. So I think I've learned, yeah, 4 tricks today. That was my original goal and I did it. I didn't learn all the tricks I wanted to, but 4 new tricks. So I'm feeling super juiced. That was definitely like, I'm so relieved because now in my head, I get at least the idea of how to do those tricks. I've done 1, doesn't mean I have them well, but it definitely means I can do them in the future. So I'm very pumped. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed kind of this 2-parter. Talked about Norway, we did some skateboarding, and I hope that you enjoyed kind of all of the context in between. If you want to see more videos that are mainly just like this second half, my Progress Daily channel is linked down below, and I upload like 3 videos a week that are just like this. I'm always just trying to learn tricks. Skateboarding is my job and I take it very seriously, so I just try to make sure that I upload as much content as possible so that people are hopefully in some way or another entertained or inspired to go out there and work on whatever you're working on. Doesn't have to be skateboarding. These videos are just trying to pump up people to go pursue their individual craft, because skateboarding is kind of a niche hobby and I just love it so much, and I think that's kind of the important part of life, is pursuing, even if it doesn't have the super high financial upside, the thing that feels fulfilling and is fun, and I hope that you get inspired to do that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time every Tuesday and Thursday for videos on this channel. Take care, progress daily, and keep killing it.